Hey, it's Sam, and today I'm inviting you to the class called Rashis, Rulers, and the Holistic Zodiac. In this class, I'm going to be talking about the sacred astronomy that led to the zodiac signs, the astrology houses, and the holistic framework that's known as the zodiac. Now, if you've been struggling to try to interpret things such as planets in signs, planets as house rulers, how to bring those two things together based on the rising sign and the ascendant, how to interpret and discuss these things, this is the class for you. This is a class for all levels, including my advanced students, but also for beginning students that want to know and understand the holistic matrix known as the zodiac and wanting to understand it with greater depth and precision. Imagine being able to really penetrate to the sort of cosmic depth of that sky. Not only will you be able to understand yourself a lot better and the people around you based on those signs, but if you're doing any kind of astrology work now, your interpretations will just magnify because your awareness of what's behind the zodiac and all of those concepts will also be greatly enhanced. For example, I'm also going to talk about things such as the dominant bhavas, the planets as they rule two different houses. There's one house that's dominant to the other. I'm going to talk about these principles in much greater depth than I ever have before. These are subjects that I covered in my first book, The Ascendant, 108 Planets of Vedic Astrology, but I haven't really taught it within this context in many years. I'm also going to reveal some house and sign strategies that I also haven't really talked about in this context for a while. As it relates to the principles of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, masculine and feminine Rashis and rising signs, and how you can really penetrate to some deeper frameworks based on the signs that become the houses. So, for example, each sign is not just one sign, but it's also a house from another sign. I'm going to be breaking out all of these strategies and frameworks so that you can keep all of that straight when you're doing readings, and or if you're getting started and more of a beginner, you'll get this deep framework built into your existent understanding. I'm also going to give some strategies of how to do entire readings just based on planets in signs. So if you wind up with sort of like difficult birth times that you're not sure of, you'll be able to read each planet in each sign independently and give great readings based on that. So the format of this class is going to be Saturday and Sunday, 4 hours each day, or if you're seeing this later, they will be 8 hours worth of recordings. But if you're going to be attending it live here in May 2020, it'll be a Saturday and Sunday, then a week off, and then a Q&A weekend the following Saturday. Okay, so we'll have a Q&A follow-up on the following Saturday. Now, this is really going to be an opportunity for you, whether you're beginning or advanced, to go deeper into how to interpret planets in signs. You know, this is the biggest thing we probably do in astrology, is interpret the planet in the sign. Now, of course, there's all of the Vedic frameworks to use, like the element of the sign, the element related to the planet, the gunas, of course, are also very important that my students have heard me talk about, but I'll go over these things. But there's also many different sign attributes. There are things like the feet, there's the size, there's the modality. There's also other things, like I say, that I've already mentioned that relate the sign to a house from a particular ascendant and rising sign. There's also how those house factors play into an interpretation based on whether it's a dominant bhava to the other. These are very deep strategies. They're subtle, but the principles and frameworks are also really important for you to grasp if you're going to take your readings to the next level, and also if you're going to take your comprehension of astrology to the next level. Again, I'm also going to start from the very beginning with the sacred astronomy, and I'm going to also show you how and why signs and houses are completely joined in the Indian system, and it also really connects you with the sidereal zodiac as well. You'll see undoubtedly why the sidereal space was used for houses and signs in Vedic astrology, and that framework is really important for you to grasp. So again, those of you who don't know me, I've been teaching astrology since 2006, and I have many certification courses, many courses like this as well, to help people explain and interpret these different qualities of Vedic astrology. I teach right from the texts themselves, right from the sacred writings. I'm going to be doing the same here. Some of these excerpts will be from my first book called The Ascendant, 108 Planets of Vedic Astrology, from the Rishi Parashara. So this is right from the source material, interpreted and explained in a way. And it's not just abstract and conceptual. I'm going to be looking at charts the whole weekend as well. So you put these things into practice, not just in the abstract. So again, you can expect after this weekend and after these 2 days and this 8 hours of classes and the follow-up weekend that your ability to understand planets in signs and as house rulers will be expanded greatly. Your ability and your capacity to interpret those things and actually say the right words will also be greatly expanded. And again, even if you're already doing readings, that's going to be a benefit. But even if, and I should say especially if you're not, a way to grasp and approach these concepts that's not overwhelming, that allows you to take the right detail and say it in the right way. So again, this is also going to save you a lot of time rather than pulling on teachings that are unorganized and disorganized and not really connected to the holistic structure. Again, we can waste a lot of time getting the wrong teachings or the teachings that are sloppy. This is very streamlined, very focused just on planets, signs, interpreting them. And you can even use that for planets in the sky as they're moving through the sky, how to interpret all of these things. So again, just go ahead and register for this. The class is greatly discounted now. I'm doing it as we're still experiencing this social distancing in 2020. Usually I charge at least about an extra $100 for this much teaching, but I've slashed the price. I've slashed like $100 off the price. Rather than being $147, it's only $47 now as I'm doing it here in May 2020. So go ahead and register for that, and I'm sure you'll really get a lot out of this course.